let's rehearse where we've got to. After your negotiation with the EU, we carry on paying money in. We have very easy movement of people back and forward. So those people who voted to take our money back, those people who voted to cut immigration will not be happy. And we are going to copy and paste and follow the EU regulations, even though we don't have a vote. That is, by any standards, the worst of all worlds. You have backed yourself into a very unpleasant corner.
Well, I really don't see how it's the worst of all worlds to be able to continue to trade successfully in Europe. I really don't see how it's the worst of all worlds to have a solution that works in Ireland. 3,600 people or so were killed, murdered, over 30 years in Northern Ireland. There's a very good book published earlier this year. Which
We're going wildly off subject here.
Remember these dead. I mean, these are serious choices about the future of
course
Britain.
they are.
And having no hard border and being able to trade successfully with Europe in the future is a choice that we're entitled to make. We've got a choice.
We're going to take their regulations without a vote. We're going to carry on with a big migration back and forward, and we're going to pay money for the privilege. That has been described as being a vassal state of the EU.
How we negotiate that agreement with the EU is a matter still for negotiation. It doesn't mean it's cut and paste, but we do have a choice. Do we want to stay aligned so we can trade successfully, or do we want to tear apart? And I say we should stay aligned. We're talking about what sort of Britain we're going to be and what the next 40 or 50 years might look like. And I don't think anybody voted to make it harder to trade with Europe.
But nonetheless, you're in a position which your own colleague Barry Gardiner has described as being a vassal state, and that is going to be Labour's offer to the voters at the next election.
I think the position
Vote Labour for a vassal state.
I think the position that Barry Gardiner laid out was one at the beginning of last summer. We then
but it's where you've ended up.
We did a huge amount of work over the summer, as you know, developing our policy. We came out very clearly saying transitional arrangements are going to be needed and on the same terms as now. And that we should have as viable options on the table, staying in a customs union and a variant of the single market. And every Labour spokesperson since then has said the same thing.